Let's take a look at Florida. We've been saying, what's the gap Hillary Clinton has to overcome? 136.
It's remaining steady. I hear a lot of people are freaking out there. Freaking out. Florida is,
Virginia, nobody expected.
Nobody expected Virginia?
Nobody expected Virginia to be this close. And it's still, Fox News called it for her, but they're the only ones. No one else is.
Yeah, but if Fox News calls it for for Hillary, how Fox News is calling Virginia for Hillary.
It was really close. Like, he was ahead.
That's pretty good. That's, if Fox News is the one that's more likely to lean Trump, not that Fox News loves Trump, not since Roger Ailes left, right? Welcome back, everybody. I feel better. I have a little tequila left. If I run out, I might have to go empty my scotch bottle out. But, because I figure, a little alcohol will make whatever happens tonight, make the celebration a little more fun, make the commiseration a little less painful. Trump by himself doesn't scare me as much as it scares other people. But if Trump wins, well, that's true. That's true. I mean, that's probably the big point.
He's not going to take over your body.
Just the state of Florida, the independents really aren't doing much. They're taking 3% of the vote right now, all the independents. And there's always going to be other people on the ballot, right? We're in a year that almost anybody else would have slam dunked Hillary Clinton. Only because of her negatives, right? I think even Ted Cruz would have beaten her. As much as I hate Ted Cruz, I would rather have Donald Trump as president than Ted Cruz. But he's an annoying little shit. But we won't be going to Disney. Yeah, we're going to boycott Florida.
They don't deserve Disney.
If we lose. That's right. I know. North Carolina for Trump? Or too close to call? Too close to call. It's too close to call. China. Oh, where's my Donald Trump mask? Let's have some fun. Yeah, so I'm going to put it back on CNN or Fox while we're at the commercial. Because we can't watch commercials. There's just too much. There's just too much that could happen any second. And we have to watch with glue, because Ohio's looking pink.
There was a late push by Democrats. Is there anything we can do to turn that one around?
Take a look at Iowa. We're beginning to get some votes in from Iowa right now.
Some Democrats were thinking at the end, do we need to suddenly go back and try to turn something around? Are we going to be in a problem? And it's blue at the moment.
Iowa's tiny. I'm not too worried about Iowa. It's the problem is, we might as well go to bed. I'm not saying let's go to bed. I'm saying we might as well go to bed. Hey, Steph. We might as well go to bed because this is going to happen till 1 in the morning. I guarantee it's going to be at least 1 in the morning unless something dramatic happens. Yeah, I know. I'm ready to fall asleep. This was filled with tequila and cranberry juice, and now I've got hi.
Focus on the big one. Florida's 29, North Carolina's 15, Michigan 16, Pennsylvania's 20.
So basically, I'm ready for anything. Excuse me.
In Iowa, and we may be watching the votes in New Hampshire deep into the night because we have a different race tonight than we thought we had.
Those of you who have to be sober, I do regret
Let's start in Florida.
Let's come on down here.
your position tonight. I understand. And I'm not a big drinker, but it's times like these.
How much did you drink?
Not a lot, actually. It was mostly cranberry juice. I'm more tired. I understand. I understand. David's moving?
That's what someone said.
David's going to Canada. Well, he did do that one concert in Vancouver. They love him in Europe. Oh, man, they love Hank Moody.
He doesn't like the rain.
You know what? people just keep moving around, trying to find their place in the sun, laying their towels and their troubles down. When they feel like the day's too long, nowhere to hide, nowhere you belong. Keep your hands out, feel the turn down to you. I'm a little tipsy. I'm not good with words here. Love is all you need, that's what the book of John taught you. They want to see clouds above. I know that better than anyone. Because, my darling, it's the way you love. Of course, Trump's going to have concentration camps for liberals. It's always raining in this song. Now, baby, I'm not. Well, I'm not doing it right. Now, baby, I'm not a meteorologist. Oh, an armchair psychologist. I know you don't need me. Well, I don't need no weatherman to tell me where to take a stand. Baby, baby, as the heavens descend, you and I will make amends. This old cold front will move along. Baby, baby, as the heavens descend, you and I will say amen. Sit me back down where we belong. It's always raining. It's always raining. It's always raining in this thong. Dong, da, dong, dong, dong.
Can we just talk about Florida being the biggest dick in the world?
Well, Florida is the penis of America. Florida is America's big dick. And Trump owns half of Florida. Trump probably bought the vote just by saying, hey, if you work for me, you got to go vote for me. And he owns so many properties down there. I'm very cathartic about this. I told you guys yesterday when I was doing my live thing, oh, that's a lot of shit. Did they call Florida for that group? No. And the heavily populated areas of Miami are a big part of that 5%. So it could still go. It could still go. What makes it interesting, though, it's like if she wins it, it'll be like, ooh, that was exciting. Yay, we won, but it was exciting. If she loses it, it's like, Florida, you didn't do us again. It's 2000 all over. LLL. So, Democratic primary, these are Bernie Sanders states. Both of them. You'll help Florida? I really enjoyed Europe in May. We can just get ourselves. The airfare is expensive, but once I'm there, I think Wisconsin. Oh my God, is Wisconsin, Michigan both going for Trump?
Yeah.
Two states surprisingly very much at play right now. More results right after this quick break.
Yes.
Wow. You know, we did a gig in Michigan recently.
All right.
Are we behind? Oh, you went back, yeah.
Let's do some of these Senate races because the first one on our list.
I want to know a Missouri Senate race.
Up with these Senate races this evening is Michael Bennet returning from.
Hey, Colorado had a black Republican running for Senate. That's progressive.
About Michael Bennet.
Uh-oh. This is bad. Uh-oh. Scary stuff. Well, he was already the senator, so that's a return. Colorado's going to be for Hillary. Chuck Schumer, there's a surprise.
Predicted
I don't even like Chuck Schumer that much. He's such a schmuck. I mean, God forbid, like, who else would be there, right? But Chuck Schumer's like, again, not a bad guy, but he's been in D.C. for too long, I think. You know what I mean? He's been there for too long.
Getting these as you're seeing them, John Thune going back to the Senate from South Dakota. He had an interesting history with Donald Trump.
Canadian TV channels are predicting Trump since last week.
Georgia is going to be Johnny.
Well, the Canadians always know. Are we friends on Twitter? I'll check.
Oh, that was to Rachel.
Oh. Who was that said that? I didn't see the name. Was that J-Lips?
Kendall.
Oh, Kendall. Hey, Kendall. I didn't see her on there.
Yeah, but the Senate races that are outstanding right now are a bunch of fascinating ones. In Missouri, I believe our characterization in Missouri with Roy Blunt trying to...
Wow, that's close.
Against the
Oh, boy.
Jason Kander. I believe our characterization there is that it's still too early to call.
11 Blunt.
You have a presidential call.
Oh, Jason Kander. That's the one. Kander. Let's be blunt. I don't like Blunt. Oh, God, what a creepy picture of Blunt, too. Jason Kander. If you guys don't know Jason Kander, check him out. He's up for Senate, Missouri. He doesn't look good right now. Pennsylvania?
She was ahead of Pennsylvania.
She'll take Pennsylvania.
And in Nevada, we've got Joe Heck.
There's not enough coal and Rust Belt in Pennsylvania to beat Philadelphia. Uh-oh. Prediction.
We have a major projection in the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia. The projected winner is Hillary.
MSNBC and Fox are both calling Virginia. All right, that's a little blue wallish. Now, you look at those numbers. Trump 168, Clinton 122. You have to remember, Trump already has his Texas. Clinton doesn't have her California in that number yet.
She'll get California.
Well, no, she will. Oh, yeah, there's no question. California, Oregon, Wisconsin, probably Nevada. All those West Coast states I haven't even closed yet. Another half an hour. I'm sure at 11 o'clock they're going to say, like, her number's going to jump up. And then it's going to be this huge number for Clinton. And Clinton's going to be at about 260-ish. They're certainly close to it. And then it's a matter of the battleground states. And you have to remember, Trump, in order for Trump to win, he has to sweep the battleground states. She's going to get Pennsylvania. I'm not even worried about Pennsylvania. North Carolina and Florida. If Trump wins North Carolina, Florida, and can pick off Michigan and Wisconsin, it's going to come down to Ohio. If she wins Florida, North Carolina, it doesn't matter what he does out anywhere else. Yeah, Rhode Island for Clinton. Yeah. Arizona for Trump.
Most of the Northeast is going to be.
Well, no, that's what you're saying. The bi-coastal. We've got two countries, and it's been that way for a while. I mean, the East Coast, the West Coast, and the cities in the middle are all liberal or Democratic.
And I think if you see those matching glasses,
especially in Florida and North Carolina, go and everything in the middle, like.
Steve Kornacki with
Of course, it's all the Second Amendment types in the middle that can defend themselves, so they raise arms. We got this, yeah. I'm with you, Jill, Smokey. Yeah, the redneck states, yeah.
We said it was a narrow path coming into tonight. Some things are going his way. We just showed you Ohio. Now, Hillary Clinton was just called the winner in Virginia. We can add that to
MSNBC, what Steve Kornacki's doing here.
States that are lighter colors, they haven't actually been called yet. For the purposes of this exercise, we're going to expect Trump to win.
Watch what happens here.
Expect Clinton to win California, Oregon, Washington.
Okay.
Keeping that in mind, what at this point would it take for Donald Trump to get to 270? Count up with me here. Start in New Hampshire. We got a too close to call race there. Let's say Donald Trump wins New Hampshire. Take a look in Maine. Now, you got the statewide, you got the first congressional.
No, he hit the button wrong.
Portland kind of Democratic. Let's say Donald Trump wins a district in Maine. In Maine, you get an electoral vote for a district. This is very rural. He's got a shot there. Take a look at Pennsylvania.
He wanted to give Trump North New Hampshire, but he messed it up.
Do we have something here?
Yeah, Indiana is going to be Trump.
Red. Excuse me. Should be red. Let's say Hillary Clinton, see, I'm doing this on the flyer. Let's say Hillary Clinton gets Pennsylvania. Let's say Trump gets North Carolina. We see him leading down there right now. Let's say Trump holds on in Georgia. Let's say Trump gets Florida, where he's leading right now. Look where he's starting to get to now. Let's say Hillary Clinton holds the upper Midwest here. Let's say she gets Wisconsin. Let's say she gets Minnesota. Trump in Iowa. Let's say he gets Iowa. We'll give her right now Michigan. I know that's a very close state. Give that to her. Let's say Donald Trump gets the one district in Nebraska. Let's give Hillary Clinton Colorado. That's been looking Democratic. Let's say Trump gets Arizona. And look where he is. 268.
Holy shit, it could come down to Nevada?
He'd be over 270. If he were to lose Nevada, because there were some bad early signs for him there, if he could win Michigan, 284. And winning Michigan,
wow.
284, he could even absorb...
I'm sorry, I'm watching. I'm still waiting for that Hannibal day. Yeah. Montana, yeah.
But there are paths to 270 that are opening up for Donald Trump.
Wow.
Who else wants to talk to John Ralston?
Oh, yeah, I know. Our buddy John Ralston is the dean of the Nevada Board.
Who said it was over?
Can you imagine if this comes down to Nevada? Hannibal, wow.
What we've got right now, obviously...
Oh, you guys ever see Revolution? North Dakota, yeah, South Dakota.
Continues to be fascinating, but we still don't...
You ever saw the TV show Revolution with Billy Burke? Where, like, these nano bots destroyed the electricity. You know, there's no, you know, the world went dark. And then all of a sudden the country was split up into these... I don't think I got enough vodka. Yeah. I'm pretty chill right now, I have to say. I'm in like I had a bunch of margarita. It was virtually a margarita. I had this cranberry juice. It was like half filled with cranberry. And then I had a little tequila, like whatever's left in the bottle. And then I put a can of this Minute Maid 5-calorie light lemonade. So it tastes just like a margarita, cranberry flavored margarita. And, yeah, Virginia, if she wins even Florida or North Carolina, we're in pretty good shape. If he wins both North Carolina and Florida,
Michigan's going to decide who the President of the United States is tonight.
Simple as that. Simple as on the map.
Michigan, crap, Michigan, yeah.
What do you see? Where do you think we are?
Yeah, he's doing a lot better than we thought he would in Michigan. Wow. Whoever thought he could take Michigan? Everyone's like, oh, he's not going to take Michigan. Why does he waste his time in Michigan? You know who really you got to give a lot of credit? Kellyanne.
Close, though.
It's very close.
Oh, no,
That's Florida.
Florida's so close.
Yeah, it got closer.
He's gaining.
It's still 95%.
Ominously for Michigan. Culturally, there's an alignment.
Illinois.
And you're seeing them perform, I think, at a consistent level across all of these states, which is vastly exceeding expectations. And it's something that Nicole was saying earlier. Donald Trump doesn't have a traditional ground game. And this is an organic...
I had a good feeling about Florida.
...support that just wasn't seen...
Again, I always feel...
across the board in the predictive analysis.
Or the way I always feel. The way I'm feeling, a lot of these states that are close...
Writing off Florida at this point?
I think it's very difficult.
How about we just get an island?
We're going to move to the Dominican Republic.
It's close. Looking at the map,
They could probably afford a small island, right?
I just don't see that many votes in Broward down there. I think it'll get close to 950,000 people voting. They're going to blow away.
I could be a secretary of fandom.
Rogers there, but he's still getting a third.
I'll just drive the bus.
For every 100,000,
Water Beach, yeah.
Rogers he wins 66, he wins 33.
Oh, the Raging Cajuns looking pretty chill. That's not good.
Very difficult. I would love to be
Raging Cajuns kind of chill. That's a bad sign. He's getting old, but I'll ride the donkey in DR. Sell this house, go to DR. But you got to sell the house like before he wins, like after he wins. Everybody's going to be selling to leave. Although, you know, for all those people that want immigration to chill out, I'm guessing half the people are just going to say, fuck it, I'm out of here. All the illegal immigrants like, let's just go now because this place is going to shit. Not because they're afraid of getting arrested and sent back. They're just like, let's go while we still can, you know? Let's go before the Second Amendment types feel empowered. Let's get the fuck out of
It's
here.
like a 60,000 vote difference in Michigan right now.
That's crazy, huh? What's freaky about Michigan, it's never been that close.
Michigan is absolutely critical.
Steve, who do you see with the favored map at this point?
I think you have to, well, look, I think it's a 50-50 proposition, other than to say this, that Donald Trump had to drop a bunch of these states tonight, had to win. In every state that he's had to win, he's dropped. Right? He's dropped it into his column tonight. So he had a tight, narrow path. You know, he had to pull it inside straight. As we see,
You're not even Clinton.
Michigan at this table.
Lawrence and our
Broadcast
special
will be
insider
last at
Steve
51
Harris.
seconds.
We have another projection. Just as we're going to sneak away to a break. We have another projection. And that
Wait,
is
projection.
the state of Colorado. When all the votes
Colorado goes to Hillary. Hercules.
We knew that.
Yeah, well, that's a surprise. That was a surprise.
As we look at the race to 270, here's the bar chart. 168 to 130.
Can we just throw in California, Washington, Oregon, like, because that, I think that would chill out a lot of people.
Certainly starts.
That gets you over 200. If you just give Hillary the ones we know she's going to win, and give Trump the ones we know he's going to win, she's got a 40 or 50 point lead. So everybody just chill out. It's nail biting, and maybe that's what makes this exciting. You know what I mean?
Not fun.
It's not fun, you know, but it's kind of like, you know, watching a Super Bowl that's actually close. You know what I mean? I was thinking this is going to be boring because Hillary's going to, like, oh, it's like a 20-point lead in Florida. Wow, this is boring. But you got to know, like, somebody like Hillary Clinton's not going to sweep this the way Ronald Reagan did back in 80 and 84. You know what I mean?
Not as strong as they thought.
The only reason Trump is not sweeping it is because of his negatives.
Pennsylvania's strongly going to go for Hillary Clinton. And the fact
I
of the
know.
thing is that
I know. I'm going to take my meds, yeah.
the Trump people, about 2 weeks
I'm going to fall asleep before we get an answer here.
Oh, you're not.
Well, maybe that's a bad analogy for the women watching. I don't want to be a sexist here. But, you know, sometimes when you're watching a real pitcher's duel in baseball or, you know, you got to go there because, I mean, how many bad analogies to sports have been made in the past few months? Yeah, I mean, I can't handle another sports analogy. I know she's not going to let you sleep. I know. With all that tequila, she might not have a choice. That's the way I'm going. I'm more chill and buzzed than anything else. But I don't even think I had that much tequila. I'm just exhausted. I haven't been sleeping well. Like this whole, all weekend, I haven't slept well all weekend. Well, okay, if you're a soccer fan, right? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, soccer fans, holy crap. How many soccer games end in a 0-0 tie? If you're a soccer fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Same thing. It's a 0-0 tie in your second overtime, and you're going down to penalty kicks, right? And your goalie is almost as good as their goalie, but you got one really good kicker. So you know it's that place. Especially the French team does like. Yeah, that's true. No Manchester City, right? So Donald Trump's taking Kansas, and boom, 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 deep in the heart of Kansas, Louisiana. Yeah, New Orleans can't carry Louisiana. We keep getting idiots like Bobby Gyllenhaal in there, right? Bobby Gyllenhaal, I don't know what happened to Bobby Gyllenhaal. He was always kind of a scary dude. That whole stuff with Cindy Adams and these ultra evangelical types, the money evangelical types, you know, the Baker types, James Baker's wife types, Cindy Adams, like this crazy shit. What really gets me, the amount of people that are out there that make a living off of the conspiracy theories, or the amount of people out there that make money millions of dollars in their own pocket off of religion. I grew up as a Catholic, and I'm used to priests that are paid for by, basically the church gives them a house, gives them a church, gives them this and that, the basic needs. They have a shitty little car most of the time, Rabbit back in the day. They always have a tiny little shitty little car, and like 13, 14 grand. Like they're making military pay at best. My pursuit of the truth, yeah. They always have good wine because they have rich parishioners. I'll bring them some good wine, right? But, and then all the rest of the money goes to shelters and education, feeding the poor, clothing the poor, educating the poor. And then you get most churches, I think, out there, you have basically a guy and his family, his wife, and their church is like a small business. It's non-profit, but if they get you to put money in the basket, they make a good living. Like it is a profitable thing for them. You know what I mean? They have a salary, and I'm saying, I'm not an honest church, but I'm saying the priests, like in the Catholic Church.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Hold on, Florida?
What?
Wait a minute, did they just call Florida?
Somebody calling Florida for him? There's no way they're calling Florida so soon. There's no way. But I've sung in churches that are Protestant churches, Reformed churches, and they were making a lot of money as a preacher. You know what I mean? And then, the Vatican, but it's not that the Pope has the money. They collect money and then they use their influence. But they put all this money into missions, and the priests in my church go, oh, really? Oh, I'm in a different church then. You're in New York City churches. Yeah, that's going to be, because they're mafia and whatnot. Or the mafia probably bought them a car. And again, there's exceptions. I just know, most of the priests I've ever known drive shitty little cars. And, right. The Pope doesn't have money. The other ones, the Cardinals, and there's more of a power play there. There's politics, there's power, but it's not really a financial gain thing. States won. These Rockefeller Center things. Analyze the Billy Crystal call, the Vatican. Analyze that Billy Crystal. Yeah. Oh wait, what was it? I missed that. And there's exceptions, I know, but now there was a controversy with the retired Pope and in Jersey. And it's not so much he had money, but somebody donated an $800,000 house. Florida? Fox?
No, AM New York.
Oh, AM New York?
They said Ohio.
I was going to win Ohio, really? NBC News projects Trump wins Ohio. Well, that just got serious.
I'm Hall of Famer Jerry West, and my life is basketball.
I just keep sending out the good vibes in hopes that Hillary will be president.
That'd be devastating. I took Warson for 15 years.
Is it, we just had our first black president. Maybe America's not ready to have two minorities, so to speak. I mean, not that women are a minority. There are more women.
A long time ago, I knew that they weren't ready for a woman. I knew that they wouldn't. I knew that, and I don't think it's going to happen now.
What kills me is all the women that aren't ready for a woman president.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And there's a lot out there. I've been in Ohio. I'm not surprised at Ohio. Yeah, but Ohio used to be a very cultural place. And a lot of those theaters closed. You know what I mean? Ohio had this great theater that closed, and a great opera company that isn't as influential as it used to be. Ohio was like... Ohio still, though. I mean, you go through Ohio, there's a lot of farm, right? But Ohio, compared to a lot of Pennsylvania, and most of Indiana, and even Michigan, seems like an oasis to me. I did a gig in Michigan. We drove to Chicago to see David and the panel, the X-Files, right? Comic-Con. And Ohio's got the best roads. They seem to be, they have a lot of cities, a lot of big cities. Medium cities. Toledo, Dayton, Cleveland, Columbus, Akron. There's a lot of urban centers in Ohio. And I don't know how they break down ethnicity-wise, ethnically, but a lot of colleges, a lot of liberal arts colleges for sure. And it seems like, I feel you, I've also been, Pennsylvania. See, I feel like when I go to Pennsylvania.
The winning candidate every election since 1964.
Yeah.
This here's a load-bearing wall. We'll go ahead and rip that out. It causes a lot of problems.
Everyone?
Unnecessary. And it triples the budget.
That's what the Sun is reporting.
Schedules.
Yeah, I think it's something that no Republican has ever won without Ohio. Yeah, no Republican has ever won without Ohio. Someone is at a Trump rally and they chanting, oh shit, I missed that. I would like to punch them in their vaginas. Yeah, why back? I was treated more fairly in PA than Ohio. Okay.
Make an impression, not just a meeting. Live spontaneously.
And again, Pennsylvania,
500 degrees sizzling.
Ohio, both, all these states, even New York, New York City versus the Finger Lakes area, right? You go upstate New York, there's some scary backward shit areas. There's some suburbs, if you want to call them that, of Albany that I just assume everybody's a first cousin of everybody else on that freaking little island. We did a show up there, went in for coffee in this one place, and I thought I was in the most backwards regions of West Virginia. Some freaky shit. Let me put it that way. Some freaky shit. Maryland. Nothing new anytime soon. So, Massachusetts. They're just repeating the same old. So, let's get back to the real point at hand. If and when Trump wins tonight, what the fuck are we going to do? Where are we going? My wife has looked at houses in the Dominican Republic. We could sell this house at $100,000 less. Or no, not that much less. A little bit less. Like we could sell this house and almost have enough cash to buy that house because we put a lot of cash down on this one. And but only a year and a half ago, not even about a year and a half ago.
And this value of this house has gone way up.
The value of this house has gone up. We got an appraiser coming Thursday because my parents are going to take more cash out of it. But maybe we should say don't do that. Is that Bill Irwin? Oh, Kevin Tibbles, no relation.
Oh, did she win?
It's looking good. It's looking good. But Pennsylvania, that's a given. I think that's a given. Oh, the white people are taking back their country. I'm white. I don't want to hear that. We're taking back our country. When I see somebody that pale-skinned saying words like that, scares the fucking shit out of me. Scares the shit out of me. I'm not against... we need to freedom and liberty. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. You're trying to say freedom and liberty by voting in a fascist. I can't hear the ignorance. I don't even care if Trump wins. I just can't listen to the ignorance anymore. Right? Trump is not the problem. It's the Trump supporter that scares the shit out of me. Draining the swamp. Oh my God. Just keep regurgitating more fucking talking points. Draining the swamp. What?
People put on CNN. Here. I can't listen to this.
Is this Fox?
This is MSNBC. Why would you put these people on?
Well, they're at the... Well, no, but you got to hear it, though. It's important that we hear these people.
of the vote is.
I've already heard them. And
USA, right? You got to hear those assholes.
Important win for Hillary Clinton. She needs all of these wins right now. Let's take a look at the electoral
If you don't
map.
listen
Has 167 electoral
to those scary shitheads, you don't realize how scary it is out there.
to win the White House.
I just know because when we go with our minority friends to different places, they look at them funny. And they don't feel safe going to the bathroom. And now it's going to really
Well, here's the problem. Yeah, but the problem is, like, our minority friends that come with us to Michigan,
No, but in Belgium.
and in Belgium too. Yeah, Belgium. Yeah, Belgium was some scary shit. It's not just America, right?
Well,
Here's the thing. The problem is, you go to Michigan.
Is Prius still?
Priya's still there. Priya, remember Belgium?
Yeah.
There was even a cop in Belgium. I was like, oh shit, I think I'm in Tennessee. But they're like truckers, right? You know. But you know, Belgium and Germany, the original white power. Not that all Germans are Nazis. Most Germans, all my German friends are great. You know, and I don't want, and all my German friends feel like they have to apologize. But no different than we sometimes feel like we have to apologize for what people think Americans are. Most Americans are not racist pieces of shit. Most are not. But a lot are. I would argue 20% are. Right? What is it, 60% are Caucasian at this point? I'd say a third of us white folk are a bunch of shitty assholes. And then there's another 30% or so that are just completely ignorant to reality. And then there's the rest of us that often overcompensate. Like they assume everybody that isn't a Democrat must be racist, right? No, that's not. And so the rhetoric goes back and forth. And so that, you know, even this young woman that was just talking from the Trump headquarters, she might not even be inherently racist, but she's been lumped into that group, and so she feels like she's been talked about in a certain way. Now, I mean, she was an idiot, but I think she was more of an idiot. She may be a racist, but she was just an idiot. I'm not saying she's an idiot for supporting Trump. I think idiots, left and right wing nuts, that just regurgitate the talking point. They're like, "Oh my God, we're winning! And it's true." That I can't remember. I can't remember the talking points. I hate them so much. I block them out. Oh, Hillary's underperforming in Manchester.
There's a lot of Democratic areas. Just look at what's left on the map. If you see it, it's kind of scattershot.
Well, if you just run across the border, you might get shot.
See all this blue down here?
I was on the border of Canada once, like in a creek in Minnesota, and I completely agree with what Walt said. I don't remember what I said. Part of the problem is, on both sides, the rhetoric is such that there are moderate Republicans that feel slighted by the elite liberals. Not all liberals, but the elitist liberals. And there are elitist liberals. Lawrence O'Donnell, there are some elitist shithead liberals out there. The hipsters are out there. The people that go gluten-free just because it's cool, not because they get sick from eating gluten. They're like, I don't eat gluten. I cannot eat gluten. I refuse to eat gluten. Will it make you sick? No. So I have to change all of my fucking menus for your judgmental shitty ass? Yes.
We're not done here, but this one has been blue. She has led consistently.
Pennsylvania's looking good.
Look at where we're talking about here, and this is, so you have to come out of Philadelphia County.
I'm starting to come down off my tequila high.
440,000, 450,000.
And see, this is the problem. I was feeling very chill and okay, and now I'm getting angry now because I'm sobering up. I mean, it's like the reality is starting to sink in. Like, holy crap! I mean, who thought? What doesn't make any sense, and what doesn't make any sense to anybody, is all the shit behind the Tea Party, the evangelicals, the pro-abortion types, this, that, blah, 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 blah.
57% in Montgomery County. The president was 50-49 in Bucks County.
Like,
the third party candidate's drawn a little bit there.
all the things that kept certain people in the Senate and certain people in the House from the Republican Party, certain governors, certain, like all the people that were like, oh, I'm voting my Christian values, right? These are the people, and not necessarily, these are the people that voted for Donald Trump.
But that's 50 to 44. He's holding her own in a place like that. But we're at 100%.
The least Christian person to run for office, maybe ever. And I've always been a person that says, I kind of have some of those values. And I don't see those values in a lot of the assholes that they're propping up over the years. They say.
I think a couple people, a couple places like Associated Press called Florida.
For Trump?
You're at 59%. So, again, it's a relatively small population center, but there are some more votes for Donald Trump as well.
They did.
You're looking.
So AP is calling Trump in Florida.
So you're looking at your calculation at home or the war room is, okay, what's left? And you see a lot of blue areas here that are left, and these are more populated. These areas are more populated. These areas. So if you're looking at this, you would think punch on the top is more Democratic, punch on the
You know I can't smile without you. Can't smile without you. I can't laugh. Can't sing. It's Barry Manilow.
I don't like that song.
Okay.
Let's see where the outstanding vote is. Where there's less than 75% so far.
I was alright for a while. I could smile for a while. But then I saw you last night, held my hand real tight when you stopped to say hello. I know. Oh, you wished me well. You couldn't tell that I've been crying over you, crying over you, and you said so long and left me standing all alone, alone and crying, 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 baby, crying. It's all you want. That the touch of your hand can start me crying. I thought that I was over you.
Can you stop singing depressing songs? You're making it worse.
I know, and you don't love me, and I'll
Stop. My ears can't handle it. They hurt.
Is that loud?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah. My producer is asking me to change things. I woke up Jake.
I cannot.
Crying over you. Positive vibes, okay.
The suburban parts of Wayne County reported first, so the city of Detroit now maybe the heart of what's going to come in. So Hillary Clinton, you can expect she's going to get a lot of votes out of Wayne. Also next door, still votes to come in. This is where Ann Arbor, University of Michigan
Have they already moved on to?
Trump, though,
I know, but Steve Kornacki sounding less, hey, like, there's still hope in Michigan. There's still hope in Michigan. Wayne County, save us, save us.
Is he that far ahead?
this was a Democratic county in 2008, a Democratic county in 2012. This is looking like a Trump county by double digits tonight. So that is a shift in
French people are waking up. Oh, yeah.
the Republicans. Here's another one we might be looking at. We talk about these characteristics of Michigan. Saginaw was Obama country 4 years ago. Trump leading there right now. So we're seeing the map change a little bit in Michigan.
Steve Kornacki looking tight at Michigan right now, as everybody is right now. There's a lot of states that are still outstanding, but we're starting to key in on which of the ones are essentially...
I'm just speechless right now. I'm talking because I feel like you're watching, I'm sitting here, and I should be talking.
It's more like a deer track through light...
I am a deer in headlights.
Yellow brick road that you can see from...
Goodbye, yellow brick road. Anybody have any happy songs? Let's sing. Let's do a sing-along. No more singing. Larissa's want me to do any more singing. I'm going to put this aside so I'm not tempted. I'm going to put the keyboard aside.
Just by saying it 3 times, Michigan, Michigan, Michigan.
Maybe I'll go downstairs.
Here are our 11 p.m. poll closings. There they are.
All right, 11 p.m. poll closings. Okay, our number's going to jump up because California, right? We're going to get all the West Coast now. We can chill a little bit.
The projected winner is Hillary Clinton. Note the electoral vote. Votes 55.
All right, 55.
Hillary Clinton.
Washington, 55 electoral votes. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it goes. Okay. 55 electoral votes. Hawaii. We got Hawaii, Obama's home state. He was actually born there, Trump. Oh, Idaho. Trump got Idaho. Idaho. Idaho.
Right now, Hillary Clinton 209 to Donald Trump's 170.
So in 2020 we can sing?
As we continue, here are the states we continue to watch. Too close to call, and these are some big...
We haven't gotten anything new in Florida in a long time. Pennsylvania's looking good, but a lot to come in. Georgia, that's weird. Oh, God, help me.
North Carolina, 15 electoral votes. Minnesota with 10. Iowa, still too close to call. Nevada, still too close to call. Ditto New Hampshire. And
That's kind of crazy that New Hampshire's in play.
We have moved from too early to too close, with not even half the raw vote in. Now, the list of states we are characterizing too early to call. Arizona, Wisconsin, and Utah.
The Spanish vote could deliver Arizona.
And the Blues down on home ice. In this row,
I like that, the whole ice rink thing.
unmistakable
So Clinton is up. Clinton's winning now.
coast. 11 p.m. Eastern.
Utah. I mean, Utah's 4 votes, so who gives a crap, right? But this is the strangest presidential election of my lifetime. I don't know if anybody out there can say differently. By far the strangest. Like, what's going red, what's going blue, what is in play, what was... Even the fact they ever thought Texas might be in play was ridiculous, right? I mean, if anything, the only thing good about Donald Trump is that he's not an ideologue. Like, the fact that the Republican Party voted for somebody who's not a right-wing nut. He's a nut, he's just not a right-wing nut. Wow, Republican senator in Wisconsin. That's not a good sign. Oh, that's not even close.
Back to the U.S. Senate. And, Chris, what's the quote you've been using all night? But you can't go home again.
You can't go home again. I think Feingold would have been a big surprise. I think historically he would have been the first person to defeat the
So
person.
Democrats got a sweep. There's 4 more.
There's potential for the Democrats to win back the Senate. We began it with Illinois, which they've won.
4 more senators in play.
Everyone said this is the second easiest, and the third easiest was going to be Indiana. That was going to be an easy pick. Well, then of course we got the 2 or 3 outstanding now. So it's very much up in the air now. They needed 4, and that 4 pick up to win, and the Democrats did. And yet, the thing about that, I do have values besides my horse race interest in this. I do know certain senators who are solid enough to stay there.
All right. I don't know if I can keep this up anymore. I am just.
She's got the stuff.
I like my new Rogue One. This is my Rogue One Star Wars
I
shirt.
think clearly this thing's up in the air now. They have to.
My Superman hat.
Ross didn't win.
My
They didn't pick up the vote in Indiana. They didn't pick it up now in Wisconsin. They picked it up in Illinois, but they're just beginning this climb.
Down Jones is down.
I
Well,
think they now have to win the other.
it was down today as a correction because it like jumped up yesterday. So they're saying don't go by that so much.
Pro, as you said earlier,
Oh.
there's all these Washington connections, a real leadership type. And up against this guy,
3,000 miles away from here might be good.
Military intelligence operator,
More fascinating ads.
What do you think, Reese?
You see there, I mean, it's too early to call less than 40%.
Oh.
But Blunt has a pretty big lead in terms of the vote that's in already. New Hampshire, Kelly Ayotte's race, that's very...
We have a projection. Donald Trump is being awarded North Carolina.
Oh, shit. North Carolina goes to...
Electoral votes.
North Carolina
It's all kinds of different
goes to Donald Trump.
There's the electoral race, 209, 187. Here it is in color.
If he wins Florida,
He did get Florida.
it's not official yet.
Oh, he's got it. They've already projected.
AP is saying it.
Yeah, AP. I agree with
Hey, Lawrence O'Donnell, I want to hear from James Carville.
We've got James Carville and Mike Murphy here. And James, you were already discounting North Carolina for the Clinton campaign.
You're not going to win Virginia now in North Carolina.
And as we were watching this last group of returns, it was actually one of the Senate races that got your attention more than these presidential races.
Can we do a collective American Home Alone?
Which tells me that the path for Hillary Clinton and the
Um,
is going to be pretty narrow. The math in Michigan, Mike and I were just doing some sort of back of the envelope calculations.
Well, I think it's fair that if Donald Trump becomes the president, we should all be allowed to stop paying our taxes. Right? I think that's a fair trade-off. I think, nobody should have to pay federal taxes anymore if Donald Trump is president. Right? He doesn't pay taxes. He's the president. Why should we pay taxes? I think we're on there. Testify.
Ron Johnson, who is considered the second most vulnerable Republican, has won pretty comfortably in Wisconsin. That indicates that the drama may be moving to Wisconsin.
So for the scorecards at home, if the Clinton campaign takes Michigan, the next thing to watch is Wisconsin.
Yeah, absolutely.
That Wisconsin could be what breaks it or wrecks it for the Clinton.
Right, it looks like the Republicans may have, maybe...
Who stayed home and didn't vote? That's what this has to be. Because I feel like who is sitting on their ass right now at home and didn't vote that could have voted?
Carried Wisconsin since '84, so he's turning the map a little upside down in some ways.
Now I understand now how all the racists feel when Obama won, right? Like, oh, he's not our president. Everyone with half a brain and reasonable. Anybody with any reason?
Yeah, let's take a look at exactly what it would take, what they were just talking about there for Donald Trump. So you see the scoreboard right now with the new updates. So
It's too early to freak out.
We've shown you it's not been called, but Donald Trump is leading in Florida right now. Georgia, it's not been called, but again, if Donald Trump were to get these two states, New Hampshire, this is too close to call right now. It is winnable for Trump. There is this congressional district, this rural congressional district in Maine. It's very winnable for Donald Trump.
Holy fuck.
Michigan and Wisconsin alone for a second, and let's go to Arizona, the next most likely target for Trump. Again, if he wins Arizona, look where he... Oh, by the way, there's this one congressional district in Omaha. Again, if he wins that, then look where he's sitting. These are the most winnable states left for him. He's sitting at 268. And he would be one state away from the presidency. Now we're talking about Michigan. You got a lot of Democratic vote to come in Michigan.
Yeah, but he's got to get all that stuff. He's got to get the Maine. And he's got to get New Hampshire.
You still have votes
Oh, he'll get Maine.
He's going to get Maine?
From the county where
No. There's one district in Maine that Maine does a split thing.
Rural counties that are traditionally blue, flip to red in Wisconsin. I can show you that in a minute, but Wisconsin, right now, that's why it's too close to call. And
Michigan and Wisconsin are both
He's going to get Michigan.
close.
He needs to win one of these. He needs to win Nevada, or he needs to win Wisconsin, or he needs to win Michigan. If he does,
Michigan's the biggest of those three. He can win Michigan and still lose New Hampshire.
Let's talk about it. Nicole Wallace?
I have been hearing for the last hour that Republicans are giddy about the prospect of controlling all three branches of power, which is what a lot of Republicans, even Trump detractors, think is within reach tonight. I've also heard from my Trump-loving parents who said if you're lucky, Trump won't deport you. I'm not so sure. I'm usually I think I'm missing after here. Like maybe I'm I think I'm near the top of it. We just had Bill McIntyre on across the hall, and all of the polls were wrong. She did not have a 3.5.
American Brexit, here he comes.
That's what the average of polls had her at. This is not a map that reflects a three-point lead. She didn't have that. I don't know that she ever had it. People will I think the Clinton camp is already sort of putting out this Comey spin, and it's half of the story. But the other half is what it did to him. He closed stronger than anyone in recent political history. And our folks that were on the trail with him talked about it. The New York Times wrote an incredible piece.
Undercover agent into what? I missed the setup for that, I think. Where are we going to send an undercover agent?
In the exit polls about being an outsider. In a year when you like no one, you pick the known unknown, not the known no one don't like her. You pick the I don't know if I don't like him. And that's what they picked. They picked, I know I don't like her. I don't know how much I don't like him. And the closing argument from the Clinton campaign, this is about what kind of country you live in, is something every parent is going to have to grapple with, because this is the country that we live in, where the disgust, I think 10 months ago I called him political chemo, who wipes out all the healthy blood cells, who takes out everything with him.
If this goes through,
willing to take the strongest medicine possible. I think that's what
if we get this all red DC situation,
Why aren't any incumbents losing?
Well, George W. Bush campaigned for, I think, every Republican who won tonight on the board, and his message was
I fear for
isolationism and anti-nativism.
all those kids
And I think they've calculated that at the top they want change.
that are benefiting from educational programs, food stamp programs, healthcare programs.
And listen, it is far more likely at this point that he wins than she wins.
I honestly am not that afraid for myself.
But it is far more likely that he wins. It is far more likely that tomorrow morning we're talking about a Trump campaign.
Well, exactly right. I fear, I think in the short term, as a white male, and I say that with a lot of levity. It's not, when I say that, I mean that's like the silver lining for me personally, is as a white male, the short term of this. But I'm just thinking the 1920s. It's not official yet, but it's going there.
Most endangered species in the country.
Because Trump's going to try to throw Ryan out.
Donald Trump wants to work with the Speaker Ryan. He may say so tonight, and if he wins in a victory speech. Paul Ryan is in danger. He had the most uncomfortable and really excruciating endorsement of Donald Trump. If Trump wins, I think
women's health issues.
He's going to get in there and be like, vengeance is mine.
Anybody out there that uses Planned Parenthood? Think of all the things that Republicans have tried to do in the House and Senate in the last 6 years. Right? Last 6 years. Everything the House and Senate tried to do. Now, Donald Trump is not necessarily your typical yes man Republican.
I would think that the Republican Party was going to be radically different. Instead, I think they just swapped that.
His son is, Donnie Jr.'s, right-wing nut. Beyond the trade issue, and the trade issue is very far left, right? The trade issue is what is going to make Donald Trump win. The trade issue is why all these former Democratic Union counties, white, labor counties
It can mean we were too far left, or it can mean we were too far right. You have to read
that
it.
are the ones that are hurting the most from factories being closed over the last 30, 40, 50 years.
So we tried as a country. We picked.
And my vagina wants rights, yeah. Women, you might want to move to Norway or Canada. Mexicans, you might want to go back to Mexico.
The president had a tremendous bond.
Blacks, you were forced to come here on the slave ships 300 years ago to 200 years ago.
He's my president. Let's get together. We're going to do this. Well, it's not
So I don't know what you do. I mean, they don't like you in Africa, right? I have African American friends who have gone to Africa. Hey, let me go discover my roots, and they don't want anything to do with you. So you know, you're fucked here, you're fucked there.
This guy Bernie wasn't going to be president, but he was pushing that button. Everybody was pushing that button in order for Bernie. He didn't make it.
And people who like Trump liked Bernie as a second choice.
Muslims, holy crap!
Hanging on the pipes.
I don't know what to do. I mean,
They want something. Like the kid says, I want an item, I want a thing.
In Bernistan, in Bernieville, a Vermont Republican has just been elected governor.
Well, maybe that's
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. It's almost more scary to me that the country is in such a place that they would think Donald Trump is the answer. I think there's a deeper thing there, right? It's not what everyone here, I'm guessing anyone that's been with me this whole time is on the same page, or probably even, in most cases, more so afraid of Donald Trump and the Donald Trump presidency. I have never been that afraid of a Donald Trump presidency. With all the shit, all the things he says, he's more moderate, if not liberal, than anyone else that could have come from that side of the aisle. I mean, if it's going to be a Republican, I'd still rather have him over Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, maybe. Yeah, I mean, all the ideologues, right? He's not an ideologue. The biggest thing that scares me about Donald Trump is not his rhetoric about grabbing vagina. I mean, that's deplorable. But I mean, is he any worse than Bill Clinton in that area, right? It's my fear that he's going to be a red rubber stamp on the Congress that hasn't changed much.
It's a policy election, and it's
yeah, it's coming back in New Hampshire.
Ethics. That's what it comes down to.
Hugh Hewitt will continue to knock this around here in this room.
DNC.
To fit in a break.
This is as much your fault. I have never been a fan. I've already forgotten her name now. The old DNC chair from Florida, right? I mean, basically, Hillary's pimp. I've never been a fan of hers. And the DNC has been, it's all about Hillary. All about Hillary. It's almost like, I don't even know if it's a Hillary thing. I think all the people that were so anti-Jeb Bush are just as anti-Hillary Clinton. The Bushes and the Clintons. The Hatfield and McCoys, let's screw both of them. I'm already giving my concession speech, right? We haven't lost it yet.
Not shredded last night or baked yesterday afternoon. Good ingredients.
But there's some serious reality checking that needs to happen.
That's what daily means. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Now, a lot of this just could be, hey, the Democrats had 8 years, it's their turn.
The choice is simple. Core Seed and HVP is the only brand that gives powerful cold symptom relief without raising your blood pressure.
The incumbent, after 8 years, the incumbent party after 8 years rarely keeps the power.
That's why Jaguar's instinctive all-wheel drive system constantly monitors the road surface and
I don't want to spin it. I don't want to spin it. I don't want to hear any more spin. And there's a part of me, and don't jump down my throat, there's a part of me thinking it might be a good thing that we don't get the Clintons back in the White House. It might not be a horrible thing to keep. The fact that it's Donald Trump that's doing it, it's like.
computer for $100.71.
These aren't actors, they're real people who got real savings at DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. At DealDash.com, you can save up to 99%, but hurry, everything must...
No.
I disagree.
It's always free.
I'm not saying he's a better choice. I'm just saying that Clinton's in the White House.
But with the Senate being completely Republican,
that's some scary shit. That's some scary shit. My only solace, like, how much damage can they do in 2 years? And as far as they're concerned, how much damage did, if you flip the coin, how much damage did Obama inflict in 2 years? Obamacare was a pretty big thing to them. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't like Obamacare to the extent where they're going to send an all-red DC in to destroy Obamacare, to destroy anything Obama did. And I am of the notion that Obama's the best president we've had in my lifetime in 100 years, right? You can say what you want about Obama and ISIS, right? Obama inherited a shit show, and he decided no more.
People at the Javits Center are not happy.
Is that Hillary's people? Oh my God, she looks like she's about to crap her pants.
Before the actual crowd had been loaded in. There was a story in the New York tabloids that was knocked down just a few days ago about the fireworks, the victory fireworks celebration that was planned for tonight over the Hudson River until cooler, calmer, and more reasonable heads prevailed within the Clinton campaign, and they stopped the fireworks 2 or 3 days ago.
Stop the plans for fireworks.
So that's the situation we're looking at. Steve Kornacki's at the board talking about...
Rachel Maddow looks like she's going to cry.
We're talking about Wisconsin. One of these states, if it comes to the scenario where things break Trump's way the way they are in states he's leading, this could be one of those that puts him over the top. He is leading right now by 60,000 votes. Now, where are the votes left? There are votes left in Milwaukee County where Clinton's winning big. There's probably a little bit more than 100,000 votes left here. Again, depends on turnout. Could be a little bit more. Clinton will pick up votes here. She will also pick up votes in Dane County. There were 300,000 votes that were cast here.
It's not over yet, folks, but I don't think anybody expected it to be this much of a nail biter. I think we're all thinking by 11 p.m. we're going to bed thinking, disaster averted. And I am starting to freak out. I'm starting to freak out, mostly because I'm starting to sober up. Baby. It's going to come down to one state. And if it doesn't, here's my fear. Here's the scenario. Trump runs the table in all these states that are left. And he ends up with like 300 electoral votes and has the mandate. That's some scary shit. A narrow victory is devastating at this point.
States have been looking specifically at some of the states where Trump is leading, even if we don't have a call on those states, just these very close states, and Wisconsin among them. There are a number of these states in which the third party balloting,
I'm thinking of a lot of places I could go and sing on the street with a guitar and for change and support myself. Southern Italy, Puerto Rico. It's a little hot in Puerto Rico. I really need some air conditioning, but Southern Italy is really nice. It's like San Francisco. And the Amalfi Coast. I could work 20 hours a week on a farm and keep a roof over our head and get a little cheese. You know how I am with chocolate croissants, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of cappuccino. I don't even need a cappuccino. Just give me some coffee. I always thought if I had $100,000, I could retire right now in Southern Italy. It costs about a couple grand, or maybe $1,000 to get there. Money goes a long way in Southern Italy.
That was
and
that's a pretty picture for them. Well,
The cat, yeah. I'll leave the car behind. I'll probably take the cat.
That was back when you were in like the 90s, not sure if it
Yeah, but Southern Italy, I bet you if you're there.
No, the people there
Down south, I mean, the conversion's not as good, but once you're there and I can make a little bit of money,
Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland. And traveling, and even Switzerland was.
go work on a fishing boat, or I could go, like I could do one of those gondolas and sing opera. I sing good enough to like be one of the guys on the boats. Oh, sole mio.
And then people don't want that responsibility.
Stein frontier day.
I think some of the.
Sole mio. Don Giovanni, Don Giovanni, Don Giovanni. That's not from Don Giovanni.
But the idea that you look at Donald Trump and you think, Manhattan billionaire, twice married.
What I usually don't like to do is just talk myself into a stupor. And so I try to change the subject. The French are saying, wait, next year it's going to be their turns. It won't be pretty either. I mean, the whole world, like, it's like the white people rebellion, right? The angry white man. But what do they want to happen? What do they want to have happen? That's what I want to know. What do they want? I'm just chilling out here. What do they want? What do they expect? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so.
People really have. And he tapped into them.
I was just going to say on the really quickly on the third party.
They want isolationism. Like what? Because I haven't heard a single plan. Right? I've heard we're going to defund Planned Parenthood. I heard we're going to build a wall. We're going to be racists. We're going to be sexists. Have we heard one plan of how we're going to fix the problem? Or just how we're going to, like, justify bitching and moaning? I love Bill Maher calls Donald Trump the whiny little bitch. Well, if he's the whiny little bitch, who are all the supporters?
The term trustworthiness, honesty and trustworthiness was in the story. It was in every story.
If Donald Trump's the whiny little bitch, what about the billions, the millions of whiny little bitches out there?
Voters in particular who had a sort of a vague feeling that she was just as bad. And so the idea of there was a sheik to say,
And I understand how you feel, Steph, but I mean, like, again, there's a percentage of them out there that are just completely deplorable, right? Hashtag deplorables, yes.
From Milwaukee proper have reported there are 300 plus in the city of Milwaukee. And so
But the rest of them, like, there's a lot of people out there that are like, they're not racist necessarily.
It's enough to make up some of this gap. That's Milwaukee County.
They're scared. I mean, how many people do I try to teach how to use Twitter? And they just don't get it. Oh, yeah, maybe a little light, yeah.
Wait, teach how to use Twitter?
I mean, I'm just talking, technology in general.
You didn't know how to use Twitter for a while. I had to teach you.
No, I'm not great at Twitter, but I was never afraid of Twitter. I didn't know how to use it and optimize it. And, I didn't know how to use Twitter the way the kids use Twitters.
Deplorables have no problem using Twitter.
Well, no, I think those are actually Trump's, or even it's just Trump himself with fake names.
Obviously not.
No, there are trolls out there, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them are just, they don't understand technology. They feel, or their jobs are just completely destroyed by technology. They know how to go on Twitter. They don't know how to make a complete sentence most of the time, but they know how to bitch and moan on Twitter. And, Nevada.
Right now, the country and the world are focused on Michigan and Wisconsin. We'll see what happens as we get closer to these.
Fucking Michigan and Wisconsin. I was just in Michigan doing a show at Ferris State, north of Grand Rapids, right? And Ann Arbor and all the way up there. And the number of signs that you're passing, like, for ammunition, guns, survival gear, complete, grenades. I don't know what they're selling up there. What was the other sign that really scared us? It's more than just armor and whatnot. Like basically, you could be complete militia, right? What do they call those stores that have everything? It's like a complete armory. It's not just guns. They've got all the gear and the bulletproof vests and the knives and all that survival shit. Oh, is that? Uh-oh. Don't look.
This is a Democratic area of New Hampshire. We still have that. Closer to Boston. Right. And yes, closer to Boston and liberal tradition out there.
Survivalists, yeah.
Right now,
But,
you're happy with what you see, but we're not done in New Hampshire yet. Would you?
sorry about that. That was gross.
What happened?
Nothing. I booger.
What'd you do?
I have allergies.
48.9% to Donald Trump's 47.6%, 73,000 vote lead.
Still there?
In Pennsylvania with 81% of the vote.
No, that's something else.
There was a little time earlier tonight. I go back and forth in the map.
I'm gonna sign off. I think.
Within a matter of seconds.
Contact pop out. No, but
In Pennsylvania, number one, again,
allergies, this weird weather. I mean, it's a beautiful day. All those weather changes. I keep getting. I've never had watery eyes. I don't know if there's something in this
I've
house.
been getting those too.
Watery eyes, yeah.
Yeah, not today so much.
I mean, I have never had so many problems with my eyes. I don't know if it's my contacts. My eyes are changing, rejecting the contacts. See, I got these blue eyes. I'm not even that red right now, but a little tired. I'm very tired. This is exhausting. Absolutely exhausting.
This is always the close one. This was 49-48 is my
Bucks County.
49, I'm sorry, a 1-point race 4 years ago. This is the closer, the more blue collar of the suburbs, and so that is getting.
I think the big answer, I think, what's going on, what it looks like to me, what's going on,
And you go out there and Hillary Clinton's doing well with
more of those third-party voters from the GOP have come home to the GOP.
solid Democratic state for so long. Number one, Erie County.
There are more people saying, I could deal with Trump from that side of the aisle. And it's a small, narrow margin.
Looking the other way on all these other fucking issues because they're worried about their goddamn fortune.
I don't think that's it.
Yes.
I don't think that's it. Some of them, there's something else out there. And see, the problem with Hillary Clinton is, I don't know that she's corrupt.
That's what happens. So we're going to pull this out right now.
But since the early 90s, even the 80s, like, there has been a right-wing conspiracy. Now, it may or may not be, I hate the word conspiracy, right-wing conspiracy, but there has been a right-wing, an alt-right wing campaign to take down the Clintons. And they have had some success. True, we know Trump is corrupt, but and again, I'm not at all justifying why I would even think about voting for Trump. I voted for Hillary. I voted straight Democratic ticket for the first time in my life tonight, even though I'm registered as a GOP. I'm saying there's a narrative about the Clintons that is out there that is just so thick. I think what we're seeing here is like Hillary's ceiling was more steadfast than his was.
So let's say they split these two states.
People were willing to say, oh, okay.
Wins Wisconsin. What's their respective?
It's almost like they're buying into, I am the corrupt son of a bitch, but I'm the corrupt son of a bitch from the outside.
I can't hear or see what's going on.
All right, I'm going to turn it off because we really need to watch what's going on. I'm going to turn back on in a little bit if it gets to a point where, no, they're just showing different scenarios. What's up, the Dario?
He gets North Carolina, he gets Florida. Then we're tied with these states that
Wow.
we're still looking at.
Okay, guys. I'll keep in touch on Twitter.
Doesn't that look sweet?
I understand. I might be crying soon. I'm kind of in this weird place. I think the only reason I'm not crying is I'm absolutely exhausted.
We're missing two votes.
And
We're missing the congressional district in Nebraska and the congressional district in Maine, the second congressional district in Maine. The one up here, we were thinking, leans Donald Trump. We'll count the votes as they come in. the one in
All right, I'll see you guys a little bit.
projections on that.
I've been on for way too long, and I am.
Race that I think most people thought we were going to have today.
I know.
It's not the race we have at the moment. It is a perfectly reasonable calculation that as we brew a little bit more coffee past the midnight hour, the 1 o'clock hour, the 2 o'clock hour.
May I invite everybody to a free comedy show on Saturday so we can commiserate with
The fun part about this,
laughs.
the live votes, is while you're having a conversation about one thing, often
We're going to get together the next week anyway, I think. But if anybody needs just some laughter, come on out to the show. Tickets on me. Have a drink. Have a few laughs. I may or may not be able to be performing. Oh no.
Now take a look at this. And CNN projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida.
CNN is calling Florida for Trump.
Electoral votes. Donald Trump wins Florida. A huge win for Donald Trump. That's his second home.
Wow.
Those 29 electoral votes.
So
90% of the vote in by more than 131,000 votes. A big win for Donald Trump in Florida. He predicted he would win Florida. He has won Florida. Let's take a look at the electoral college map right now. You see.
they're just half of America.
He has
Just half.
16 electoral votes compared to Hillary Clinton's 197 electoral votes, 270 needed to win the White House. But it's a big, big win for Donald Trump in Florida.
I can't believe George is still up in the air. That's got to be a big story.
It's not.
He did a huge prize, 29 electoral votes. Where his second home is at Mar-a-Lago. And let us also just point out, when you were doing the map with John just a second ago, you were very close to having a 269 tie. That is entirely possible.
Is that actually projected on the Empire State Building? Florida and Trump? Anybody else watching CNN right now showing the Empire State Building? Showing Florida off the side and Trump's face? Holy crap, I didn't know they could do
Get
that.
that shit off of my city!
Electoral votes according to congressional districts. And if Donald Trump picks up that one in Maine, the Maine's second congressional district,
I feel like I need to provide a shoulder for
all those trips to Maine,
a lot of people to cry on.
actually may end up
Get that
A live
actually
TV?
projecting real?
I think so. Isn't it?
This is a cliffhanger. We really have no idea what's going to happen here. I haven't seen a race this close since Al Gore and George W. Bush in 2000. It really could theoretically come down to one state or even one congressional district.
Speaking of 2000, I think we should take a moment and talk about Florida. Because, as you said, it was something that Donald Trump said he was going to win.
Chris went to bed.
It looks like he
Chris must be flipping out.
has won it. And it just shows that there are big questions as to who this electorate is.
Wow.
Because
We knew it. We kind of
part of the reason why Democrats were so bullish about Florida and part of the reason why Republicans were so pessimistic was because of what they thought was a big surge.
I'm afraid it'd go away.
So at the end of the day,
I want to turn off. I just want to go to bed. I'm not going to sleep, but.
bigger Puerto Rican areas in the I-4.
Oh my gosh, excuse me.
If that surge really happened, and if it did, which way do they go?
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's fair to say that all these states are much closer than anybody anticipated.
Let's take a look at the vote in Michigan right now, because Michigan and Wisconsin, these two states are shaping up as critical. Right now, 59% of the vote is in.
The country is not in a bad place before tonight.
She has 47%. Still, 40% of the vote outstanding. 16 electoral votes at stake in Michigan.
I think you could probably say if Trump wins tonight, last Friday's FBI release is what, right? Before that FBI release last Friday.
10 electoral votes in Wisconsin. Let's go over to John King. John, Wisconsin and Michigan.
The early vote alone that happened in the last week could have been all they needed. Oh, it looks like, oh boy.
Let's just check the results real quick. 59%, 1 point race right there. And again, we're waiting.
Can't watch.
This is all going to come
It's
down.
1%.
Wayne County. There are some other votes to come in, but this is the biggest outstanding vote total right there. We're going to watch that. Let's just check over here.
It's not over yet.
It's 70% right now.
It's over.
This is state.
It's just way too close for comfort.
They're all
what scares me is that it is this close.
We're up to 87%. They're telling us in
But I will say the reason it's this close
there are a lot of precincts yet to come.
is because, and again, I'm not saying the Clintons are corrupt. I'm saying the questionable nature of the Clintons is why this is so close. I think you could look at either candidate and say anyone else running would have won against either one of these candidates.
Projected Hillary Clinton at 268, but Donald Trump has won Florida.
There is and you ladies are all despise Trump, mostly because of his sexism than anything else. But there are just people out there that have hated Hillary for a long time. And I think we just underestimated people's hate for Hillary. And I don't understand hate on that level for anyone. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that passionate hate for a total stranger. I don't understand it. He's a slime ball. But there are many people that think she is too. And again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not citing, right? I'm totally playing devil's advocate here.
With the state of New Hampshire still out there, where he leads right now.
I made a decision weeks ago that said, I don't care what comes out against her, I can't vote for him. But I think there's been people that have been there for Hillary, in that same place against Hillary.
People are saying he won Georgia.
From day one.
Assuming he wins with the state of Wisconsin, that gets in Wisconsin. Michigan 16, that one's 10. So if they split these, how they split them is hugely significant to the electoral college count, because the 6 will make a big difference, especially now that we expect, and these 4. I said, if you get 10 here, 4 there.
Wait, what's not in there?
Yeah, so let's go back as we play out all these scenarios. Let's just go back and take a look. And so what are we curious about? Number one, we're curious about this. We're up to 70%, and we're still waiting on the same. We're waiting on Center City, Milwaukee. Let's move next door, Michigan. We're up to 60%, and this one is in a closer state here. And so we have Michigan, Wisconsin, New Hampshire still counting, and some others. We got a ways to go.
All right, we have another.
Oh, you're right. Oh.
And CNN projects that Hillary Clinton will carry the state of Washington State in its 12th.
We needed that. No, we needed that.
That was an obvious one, wasn't it?
No, we needed that.
Was that in question?
Vote count in Washington State. We project all 12 electoral votes will go to Hillary Clinton in Washington State. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map, where it stands with her win in Washington State.
The most exhausting part of this, not only the fear of Trump winning, CNN is fucking exhausting. Watching CNN is fucking exhausting.
President of the United States. You see all those yellow states there. Those are still the states where we have not made projections. Too early to call in those states. We're counting the numbers, watching numbers very, very closely in those states. This is a real nail that's going on.
Here's a scenario.
For the White House. Let's go over to John King. Take a close.
Here's a scenario that might be interesting.
Not yet been able to make projections.
What if it comes down to Utah? Right?
This is Maine's 2nd congressional district. It's the largest portion of the state.
Pardon me.
My little squiggly line. That's not
It comes down to Utah, and Utah goes to the other guy. Right? Utah goes to the other Republican type, the Mormon. The Mormon Marine.
58% of the vote is in, and she is ahead, 48.9%
statewide, but it's heavily Democratic in the smaller southern portion of the state. It's more conservative up here. That doesn't.
Right? Can you imagine, if that, she wins because, or does that work? Can they win without 270? Would they let them have?
There's one congressional district that's still up in the air in Omaha, Nebraska.
Although the way things out, he could win by 1 point. He could have 269. She could have 268, or something like that, or 268 each. And the Utah with 4 votes.
Congressional district is essentially these 2 counties: Omaha, which is Democratic, which she's leading right now, and then just to the south, in Sarpy County, where he's leading right now. And this is, so. We'll have to do the math, and we have people on our decision desk who are drawing.
This is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Congressional district, we have people on our decision desk who are honing in on this very closely. If you just do the rough math, of her leading here by, that's 9, a little shy of 9,000 votes there. He's leading here by more than that. So if you're looking at it right now,
All right, I'm gonna go. I need a break. I'll come back later if it makes sense. All right, have a good night, guys.